Welcome back. Steve Price in for Chris Kenny. Let's get straight to our panel tonight. Sky News host Liz Storer joins me and columnist Justin Smith. Let's start with you two. Let's start with the Foreign Minister, Penny Wong. She's now met with families of Israeli hostages, but will still not go to those Hamas massacre sites. It looked to me, Justin, today like a pretty typical photo opportunity. A desk, some arranged guests of people who've tragically been taken hostage, but I'm not sure that really played all that well for the Foreign Minister, to be honest.
That's kind of the job, isn't it? I think she's been, I mean, I'm not here to stand in front of Penny Wong. She can do that for herself. But I think she's been copping some flack that seems to be pretty well undeserved. I mean, she's gone over there. We've given millions of dollars to the victims, their families. We've tried to give money and support. She's been meeting with the families of victims. I really don't see what more she can do. I think this stuff about her going to the sites has just been blown up to give us something to kick her about. I think it's been completely overblown.
Sort him out, Liz. Come on.
Happily, Steve, happily. I mean, every bit of stick this woman has received has been well deserved. It took her over 3 months to visit, and now she's doing a completely half-hearted job, refusing to visit the sites. The Israelis have rightly taken great offence to that, and today was nothing but a photo op, like you say, Steve, which is ironic because the Albanese government has kept the talking line that, oh, that's the reason why she's not visiting the sites of the massacres, because this isn't just for some photo op. Well, that's what today was all about, and any emotion that we saw her wring out of herself was simply crocodile tears. Let's not forget, she'd just come from Jordan, where she'd pledged another 21 million taxpayer dollars to aid in Gaza, and we all know full well, Steve, where every cent of that aid goes. How many more times do we need to hear from people on the ground in Gaza, the aid is not reaching us? The aid is not reaching us. You're sending money straight into the pockets of Hamas and other questionable organisations. It never reaches the people on the ground that need it most. She deserves absolutely every bit of flack she's getting.
I'd love to see some proof that Hamas is getting that money.
What more proof do you need to see, Justin, than people on the ground saying it's not reaching us? Hamas literally fires upon the aid as it tries to arrive.
Let's turn our attention to the AFL for a moment here. I mean, this is the most woke sporting body in the country. They've made a decision, Liz, over the last week that they're not going to publish in the annual players guide the weights of any of the players over body image concerns. Now, Liz, I once did a reality TV show where one of the segments was we had to all publicly weigh ourselves, and then we had to try and prove that we were going to lose weight over the next few weeks. I was the fattest bloke there, and it didn't concern me one iota that my weight was known. I mean, seriously, this is ridiculous. I suspect what it is, Liz, is that we've now got the AFLW, and the female players were not happy about their weights being published, and so the AFL has gone, well, if we're not going to publish the female weight, we can't publish the male weight.
Oh, here we have equality at play, Steve. I mean, name me one single male player who gives two rips about their weight being published. If anything, they'd be proud of it. These are elite athletes. It is, of course, very relevant to their jobs, like most sporting figures, what they weigh, how many kilos they're packing. It affects their game, and it's of interest to people. Also, we all know that muscle weighs more than fat. So the more you weigh, if you're a footy player, male or female, is actually a good thing, I would have thought. Anyone who knows basic biology knows that, hey, this is a muscled up player, I'll put my money on them.
Let's stick with sport, Justin. I mean, I'm pleased today that I hear Margaret Court will attend the Australian Open for the first time in 4 years. Now, there's obviously been repeated calls for the court named in her honour to be renamed. This is the greatest Grand Slam winner in history. She was back today, and I heard Yvonne Goolagong speaking this morning, Yvonne Goolagong-Cawley, saying Margaret Court is a great friend of mine. When I was a young tennis player coming up and playing tournaments in Perth, she and her husband put me up in their own home. And when I went and played overseas in South Africa during apartheid days, Margaret Court took me under her wing and looked after me. I mean, finally, we've got some common sense here, haven't we?
Well, I have never had a problem with people saying good things about Margaret Court. She is a first-class tennis player. Beyond first class, she is magnificent. I happen to also think that she's a second-class human being and has done some dreadful damage and has said some awful things around transgender people and same-sex marriage, and I think she is a delusional Jesus freak. But as far as being a tennis player goes, I think
How can you say that
she's
about
magnificent.
someone's
So if she is there
beliefs?
if she is being I would say that about anyone.
That's disgusting, Justin. That is religious discrimination. She's simply quoting from her scriptures. I haven't seen you speak out against any of the Muslims who are quoting from their scriptures.
Hey, listen, if you give me a chance, I will. As an atheist, I think religion is silly. Every religion is silly for exactly the same reasons. So if you wanted me to speak out about Islam, I could do exactly the same. I feel exactly the same way.
Your comments about Margaret Court are just out of line. I mean, seriously, the woman is an evangelical preacher in WA. That's her views. If she's entitled to her views, it's a freedom of speech.
She has pushed those on other people, and I'm just pushing my views onto her.
She's not pushing them on other people. Those are her beliefs, and they're very clearly laid out in the Bible. So she has never pushed it onto other people. She's simply emphatically stood by as a woman of conviction.
These are my beliefs.
Yeah, but you've called her a disgusting human being, Justin. That's your belief. Okay, fine.
I called her a second-class human being who has said disgusting things.
Yeah,
if you're going to misquote me right.